How much of that can I put in, by the way? Can I put all that in?
I don't know. None. Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay. All right, we'll just skip all that.
Welcome aboard. You've just stepped into Damn It, Jim, the podcast. My name is Dana Smith. I'm happy to be your captain and navigator on this adventure. And with me, as always, the Commodore Chancellor of everything Damn It, Jim, Dan Calzaretta. Good evening, Dan.
Ja. That's battle breathing, Dana. I'm battle breathing my way through this whole fucking episode.
Series. Yeah. That was good. I'm impressed.
Thank you. I had to do the breathing though, Dana. That was the thing, you know?
Yeah.
By the big cajone. What the guy with the big cajones? He's a cajonian. That's what he is, the cajonian.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing okay though, Dana. Really. I mean, other than having watched this a few hours ago, I'm doing pretty well. How about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah. Still enjoying retirement. I tell you, I feel bad, but I stay in my sweatpants 90% of the time.
Well, if there's one thing that's going to take me out of retirement, Dana, it would be, okay, you have to go to work for almost no pay. And your fingers are going to bleed every day, you know, because you're doing some kind of heavy labor, something like that. Or here's your other option. You get to eat whatever you want, drink whatever you want, but you got to watch this show like 3 times in a row, even twice, even once in a row.
Wow.
I'd go for the bloody fingers, Dana.
Yeah. So, Dan, we've got another episode of Star Trek Starfleet Academy down.
Well, it came back up, I think.
Yeah, so before we get into that, why don't we get to our listener comments?
Yeah, let's do it.
On Facebook, last week I posted the show was Vitus Reflux or something like that.
Yeah.
And I put acid reflux, and I said, oh, sorry, and put the right name. Some people thought that was funny. Some people thought I was being crude.
Wait a second. Wait, hold on. I'm going to interrupt you even during the listener comments, Dana. Someone thought you were being crude? They don't listen to the show then, because we are way more crude than
Betsy T. Brown said, it's so much fun. Get over yourselves.
What did Betsy Teabagger say? I'm sorry. What was that again?
It's so much fun! Exclamation point.
Yeah.
Get over yourselves.
Okay. What is so much fun? Our podcast? I think she means our podcast is so much fun, Dana.
Yeah. That's something we'll never get over. So Dean Mellinson said, my, how Trek has fallen. John Grendelis said, show gives me stomach problems, and I don't think he was talking about our review. So.
Well, it was called acid reflux.
Mark McDonough said, it's Star Trek YA.
Well, young adult is what that means, in case, some of our listeners don't know.
Instead of you ass. Yeah.
Actually, I think that's better.
Daryl Ortiz, I think we've heard from him before. He said, I thought I was watching The Karate Kid.
Whoa, that's kind of mean to The Karate Kid, Dana.
Yeah, that's a little harsh. But so finally, our good friend Joey Corson said, I like this episode more than I did the previous 2. Well, Joey, we want our rock back or whatever we've sent you.
But we're not sending the soap back. That stuff was good. We're not sending that back.
So that being said, I don't like this time period. I hate sounding like a TOS fanboy, but I think people would be more enthusiastic for Starfleet Academy with young Kirk, McCoy, and Spock.
I think he's got a great point there, Dana.
So, Dan, those are the comments that I've got. What did you get this week?
Yeah, Dana, we heard from Aaron Frund. I think he's a new listener probably, but he sent us an email. He said, Captain/Chancellor, what's her name, draping herself over every piece of furniture like a neutered house cat is really, really annoying. Dana, I like house cats. I mean, I had 6 cats at one time,
Wow.
But now I will never see a house cat in the same way. We also heard from Robert from Nevada. He said, guys, I do agree that Starfleet Academy is geared for a younger generation, but I think it's balanced out with your bathroom humor. In other matters, reflux refers to backwards flow. So Dan's reference to, quote, rectal reflux would kind of be like stuffing the Schmidt back into the donkey, right?
Oh, that's funny.
He needs to write for us, Dana.
Yeah.
And then he goes on, oh, and barefoot or not, Holly Hunter looks mighty good for 67 years old. I think he's right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't sound good, but she looks good. And then, Dana, we also received quite a few phone calls, probably more than we've ever gotten in 1 week, but we only have time to share two. First, here's what Lou from Canada had to say.
I don't know if the same reactions are in the States, but up here, Star Trek 90210 is not getting a lot of love or approval, and this episode was the absolute worst.
Well, we value Canada's opinion.
Maybe if we needed to, for some reason, I don't know, move to Canada, Dana, maybe Lou would be willing to host us at his house for a couple days.
Yeah, I bet he would.
Next, we heard from Ed Darlow. Here's what he had to say.
I just wanted to tell you that listening to your podcast is always, as usual, great. And in a lot of ways, I agree with you. Mainly, I'm looking at it as something that might get my grandkids interested in watching Star Trek, and maybe they'll watch my Star Trek with me. Wish me luck. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you never know, Ed. And it's nice to hear from you. Glad to see that you're still following us and listening in. So I was wondering about you, and thanks for tagging along and keeping the grandkids up on Star Trek.
Yeah, the one thing I worry about, though, Dana, is that this is like the Star Trek gateway drug, you know? And who knows what happens next after this? There's no really predicting. Dana, that's everything I have for this week.
Okay, as always, thanks for everybody that wrote in and or called. We always appreciate those phone calls. If you do want to give us a call on the Damn It Jim hotline, Dan, what number do they call?
Dana, it's 509-676-6298.
Okay, Dan, Season 1, Episode 4, Vox En Excelso.
Okay, Dana, can I jump in right now?
Why not? Whatever stopped you before.
Dana, I had to contact two departments at Damn It Jim, the university, because I didn't know what that meant. So first I called the Latin department, and they were like, well, you actually, if you really want to know what it means, you got to call the history department. So I called the history department. And it is Latin, and it means a voice on high, but it was a bull issued by Pope Clement V on March 22nd, 1312. I didn't know they just had bulls laying around, but apparently they did. But the Pope, he gave a directive that the Order of the Knights of Templar were formally dissolved. So it seems to me, Dana, that the producers are creating titles for these episodes to try to make them sound sophisticated. Because we had the Latin one last week.
Yeah.
I speak Latin, Dana. I think you know this. I'm pretty fluent in Latin.
Yeah.
So here's one that they should try. Hoc in latrinam abige.
I'm afraid to ask what that translation comes out as.
It means flush it down the toilet, Dana. That's what it means. So, Dana, we just got to tell our listeners, we went through about 15 minutes, okay, of like dialogue that was hilarious. I mean, to us, you know, and there's no way we can put any of that in. So we got to skip all that. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't know what they're missing. So,
well, we'll just say a couple of things. Okay. All I'm going to say is there was a goat involved. Some ancient Mesopotamians, and potentially a Greek tailor.
So, Dan, we start off with a a chancellor's address. Aki is talking to the crew on their first flight as cadets.
You mean they're like flying around in space now? They're not just circling Earth?
They're not in San Francisco at the academy. She tries to wax poetic, and it doesn't work. But she's like, I think of every one of you and how you're taking your first steps, Starfleet Academy. And
Dana,
the scenery out here is beautiful. And,
Dana, look, I don't want to relive it. I really, really don't want to relive it.
I was like, just shut the fuck up and say, hey, we're out in space. Don't open a door.
Yeah.
Just don't open an outside door.
By the way, Dana, I was kind of curious about her name, Aki.
Yeah.
As you know, we've got a vast language department at Damn It Jim University. Now, Ake actually comes from several different languages. In Maori, it means upward or everlasting, okay? like the everlasting pain the show's causing me. That's what it means. In Norwegian, it's a verb that means to coast downhill or to toboggan.
That makes sense.
Yeah, totally. That totally makes sense. In the Yoruban language, it means axe. Like the axe I want to take to my freaking head, while watching this. There's also a botanical meaning, Dana. The ake is a species of small tree or shrub, Dondanii viscosa, native to New Zealand.
She's kind of a small tree or shrub.
Sure.
Fortunately, we move on to the doctor, and he's teaching a speech debate class, which maybe Aki should attend. He says speech and debate is not for the chicken shit.
See, Dana, the swearing. I've got no problem with swearing. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we swear on the show a lot. We bleep it out. I think it's funnier that way. But I think the only reason, Dana, they're doing this is to try to be hip. I just don't see it happening.
So we see the Klingon, Jay-Den Krog. He's struggling with the whole idea of speaking in class.
Public speaking, right? He says even he can't do public speaking. In fact, I wish everyone in the show could do public speaking, and then it would be like 5 minutes long.
So later we see Caleb and Krog are talking, and Caleb tries to do something nice for him. He gives him a Klingon dish, and Krog says, "It is only for warriors who have fought in battle." And he makes this big deal about it. He also gives him pizza with pepperoni on it, and he's like, "I will not eat the skin of an animal. It hasn't been killed in battle," or something. It's
right.
He's throwing the pieces of pepperoni off.
Well, and at least Caleb makes a good point. He said, "It's not real meat anyway. It's made up in a machine."
Yeah.
Caleb had reprogrammed the replicator to make this food. And one of the things was that Klingon dish was made of entrails. Yeah, I don't like organ meat, Dana.
Yeah, not me either. Too much, yeah. You ever have menudo?
The band? Do you remember that band, Menudo?
Yeah, did you ever have them over for dinner or anything? And
No, but it's tripe, isn't it?
The soup, yeah. It's tripe, yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never had it, no.
God awful.
Yeah, no.
People were, when I first time I had it, they're like, oh, squeeze some lemon in it, it'll make it better. I could have put a whole fucking grove of lemons in there, limes, and it wouldn't have worked.
Now, just because we don't like it doesn't mean we're being culturally insensitive. It sucks. Just like the band.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you remember that band though? Wasn't that their name, Menudo?
Yeah, Menudo, yeah. So then the Chancellor calls Krog, and she and the drill sergeant are there. It's the drill sergeant's name is Throng or something like that, or Trong.
Thong. Her name is Thong, Dana.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I bet you she looks good in one.
Now, she's half Jem'Hadar and half Klingon. I actually kind of like that.
And the makeup is outstanding.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know who she is as an actress, but I kind of like her.
Yeah, no, I think she's really good. Aki and the drill sergeant inform him that there was a Klingon ship carrying the families of 8 houses, and it suffered a catastrophic mechanical failure.
And just like Uhura's family in Star Trek Strange New Worlds, they're dead. They're dead. They continue to be dead. And no matter how many times you talk about them, they're still dead. Uhura. I still haven't gotten over that, Dana.
I gathered. They believe his family was on it, but no one knows if there's any survivors.
Oh, so they might not be dead. Now, let's face it, Dana. You said this in our review of the very first episode. They're not going to kill anybody in the show.
Yeah, it's only getting worse. Well, we go to...
Wait, it's not done? We're not done, Dana?
Yeah, no, there's more.
Oh, God, okay.
We go to Krios Prime 16 months earlier, and it's Jay-Den and his brother going through the woods, and his brother says he's going to teach him to hunt. And we see he is different from his family. He's more quiet, and he's not all about the Klingon, man type thing, beating his chest and everything.
That's a sound when I was in the bathroom after watching this episode, Dana.
He wants to be a healer, and he wants to focus on peace. And his brother gives him a Starfleet transmitter. The transmitter starts, and it's a commercial for Starfleet Academy.
Yeah, Stephen Colbert once again.
Yeah, and it says, if you want to find out about how to be your best and all this stuff,
You want to watch a show that's really stupid? Watch Starfleet Academy. You want to end your acting career? Be in Starfleet Academy. Well, at least I'm in a lot of makeup. They won't know it was me. I'll change my name.
Yeah, it's not my real voice. Yeah. So his brother says he gave it to him because this is his destiny. we go back to the classroom. There's a discussion to talk about the Klingon diaspora.
Diaspora, Dana. It's kind of like diarrhea, which is what I had after watching this episode.
So I had to look up this word.
Yeah.
It's the dispersion or spread of people from their original homeland.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You didn't know that, huh?
Just went to a small country school, so multiple syllable words weren't used much. So some people are like, it's not wise to discuss this with the recent events. His parents are dead. And we don't want to remind him his parents are dead.
Wait, his parents are dead, right?
Well, kind of like, what's that Catholic part, that if you're not in heaven, you're not in hell, you're in
Purgatory.
Purgatory, yeah.
Limbo. Were you going to say limbo?
Limbo.
It's kind of like the show, Dana. Although the episode is hell. We're purgatory because we're talking about the episode. So if people are listening to us, you're in purgatory. So that's not too bad. You know what I'm saying?
Could be worse.
Could. That should just be our mantra. Could be worse. Damage in the podcast. Could be worse.
So anyway, Krog says everyone is talking about it. It's better to do it here than outside the room in whispers and stuff like that.
So they're going to debate something that has to do with the Klingons and the Federation. That's the idea here.
Yeah. So then we see the Admiral talking to Aki, and she wants him to talk to this guy, Woodchuck.
I think you're right. Woodchuck.
It's some Klingon guy she's known for years, and he goes into this thing about reading her diaries or reading her, events and stuff. And
this is the Admiral guy.
Yeah, the Admiral.
So he's reading her diaries.
What's her she's got, he says there's stories out there about it. I thought it meant, like her diaries.
I think it's her sexual conquests, as we are going to learn later in the episode. How many Akes could a woodchuck fuck if a woodchuck could fuck Ake? Dana, you know what? Could be worse.
Of course, it could be better too, but
don't remind people.
So he wants to help the Klingons accept the Federation help.
By giving them a planet, right?
Yeah, they found a planet that the Klingons could move to that's very similar to their homeland, which you might remember from Star Trek VI, was devastated by a nuclear reactor going bad.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So that's when the diaspora began, or did it happen during the burn? Or you know what, Dana? Don't tell me. I don't care. Let's move on.
Yeah, I don't think the writers cared either because they don't explain it much. But so the Admiral thinks this is a guy who's got an old relationship with Aki, going back years and years, and might be the one who would listen and help convince the Klingons this is a good idea. So then Woodchuck. I think his name's like Aldo Woodcock or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know, Dana.
Upchuck or something. I can't remember.
That would be more appropriate, don't you think? Upchuck, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just calling him Woodchuck. So he arrives and they act like old friends, and they're happy to see each other. They drink a little, they talk a little.
Blood wine it is, Dana.
And right away, I mean, they're not 30 seconds into their conversation. Aki goes and shows him the planet and offers the Federation help, and he's like, nope.
But in their conversation, Dana, there's a lot of sexual innuendo, or innufronto, or however they were doing it. But those two had a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Dana, they're talking about this time where they must have really been getting into some nonsense together back in the old days, 120 years ago or however long it was.
Yeah.
And maybe she was just upset that he didn't have a big Lurpa like the Vulcans do.
Yeah, the Lurpa matters.
And he would say, well, it really is more about spinning the batleth, not the length of the Lurpa. You know what I mean?
They after they go through this story and they're like gently kind of caressing one another. Finally, Woodchuck says he will try to find out information about the cadet's family, and she's like, "And the deal," and he just says nope and beams out of there. Next, we have Jay-Den keeps having flashbacks about his family. We see that he and his father argue over his desire to join Starfleet Academy.
Well, hold on. I'm going to jump right in here. Dana, a flashback is generally short. This was like 3/4 of the freaking episode. I mean, it was so long, Dana, and boring. It wasn't like there was even anything exciting, that they were talking about, or even half interesting,
Well, there's this whole thing where his father wants him to kill his first bird. Jay-Den, gets this raptor in his sights, and then he can't do it. And then the dad gets all mad and like knocks him down, takes the bow, and he shoots at the bird and misses. His dad's like, like he couldn't pass a poop or something, it's just, and he, but I mean, and then he like pushes Jay-Den down again, and he takes his Starfleet transmitter and breaks it,
and the bow, he takes the bow back.
And then we see the family takes off without him. They're on this planet. They dished him. Next, we see Jay-Den in his room, and he's working on his speech. And the Australian alien Raimi comes in.
He's a big Kahonian.
Yeah, and he's like, "Come on, hit me." It was like a high school thing.
Dana, it was stupid, Dana.
Yeah, well, and then he's like, if you hit me, you'll feel better. And then they do this little chant.
The battle breathing.
Yeah, sure. And unfortunately, he doesn't hit Raimi.
Oh, God, I really was hoping for that. That would have been great,
So then we do the debate.
Oh.
Aki shows up. She's hungover.
That part was pretty good, actually, because of what the drill instructor says to her.
What did she say to her?
Whoa, man. You look like you got the mumps. You better go see the doctor.
So, it's different people come up and do the debates. Raimi wins the first round. Then Sam,
Sam the hologram. Green eggs and Sam.
She wins the second for the affirmative.
How? Hold on a second. How did she win that, Dana? She said something that I don't even remember what it was, but it didn't sound that convincing to me.
Nothing sounded that convincing. So, in this whole thing.
That's true.
So then it comes down to Jay-Den and Caleb.
And then they get really close, right? Like they're going to duke it out, maybe.
Yeah. And the doctor is forced to call it and send them off. So they both leave.
So who won, Dana? Don't tell me Sam the hologram won.
So Jay-Den comes back. He argues his point. He talks about the myth of the Klingons versus the reality, and then he offers a Klingon solution to a Klingon problem.
Yeah, what was the solution? Does he say it right then?
No, it's just that the Klingons basically have to figure it out themselves. So later we see Jay-Den on the bridge as the saucer separates from the main ship. They arrive at Fawn Alpha, and they talk to Woodchuck, and he's on a Klingon ship, and they kind of go back and forth. You could tell it's all like a setup.
Total setup.
Basically say, if you don't agree, then we will see any Klingon ships we see will consider we're at war. So more Federation vessels show up, including the Riker. I don't know if you caught that.
I did catch that, yeah.
Then more Klingon vessels show up.
Like a lot of Klingon vessels.
Yeah, and then there's a battle. I mean, just like starts.
Yeah.
And Aki turns to the weapons person and says, aim a little high or something like that. We don't want to hit him and cause a real war.
So obviously a setup, like you said.
Yeah, and the weapons officer didn't seem real thrilled with that.
Well, probably like, look, this is the only scene I'm going to get in this entire series. I want to make it count. I want to blow some shit up. That's probably what the person was thinking.
And nobody dies in this fucking show anyway, so I'm going to kill somebody. Yeah.
Starting with you.
Aki finally says, Starfleet vessels stand down. Then we see Woodchuck on the screen, and he says, we seize this planet as spoils of war.
But then it was all made up. It was just to make a Klingon so they could tell the story, we fought the Federation, and we won, and we took the planet.
But isn't there a chance that, there's going to be a certain sect of the Klingons go, hey, we kicked the, Federation's ass at one point. Let's go kick their ass for, take more of their planets.
Well, Dana, if this was actually a good series, that would be like a great, plot line. But Dana, it's not a good series, and they're never going to come up with that shit.
So Woodchuck is on the ship. He gives Jay-Den his bow and tells him that his parents are alive and the Klingons have a new home thanks to you.
Dana, of course they're alive. Like, we saw that coming from the very freaking beginning, Dana.
Yeah. So later we see Caleb and Jay-Den hanging out, and Caleb gives Jay-Den the repaired transmitter.
The Federation thing that his brother gave him, that the dad kicked over the cliff and broke. And again, Dana, not good, Dana, not good.
So Jay-Den calls Caleb his brother and apologizes for their argument earlier and says, maybe the trick is not to let go of the past, but let the present in.
I think the trick is to turn off this series and never turn it on again.
You sound like Yoda.
Dumb this series is. Actually, it'd be more like, dumb this series is. Yoda had the mumps, Dana. Are we at the end yet? Have we gotten to the end yet?
And Dan, that's how this episode ends.
So, Dana, what are some pros you have about this episode?
Dan, I actually have a few. I thought it was a good idea to focus on the Klingon character. You know, in spite of all the talking, it was pretty good. Do you have a pro for us, Dan?
Yeah, Ake kept her fucking shoes on. How about another pro for you, Dana?
The more streamlined story. We weren't covering 12 different people and their feelings and their parents and, you know, their dog Skip or anything like that. And I liked it. How about another one for you, Dan?
Very similar. This episode was focused on fewer characters, really on one. And I thought that was nice. How about another pro for you?
I like that the Klingons and Starfleet are not friendly in this time period. They're not at war, but there's something going on that's a struggle. And I think that adds a little drama, which this show could sure use. Do you have another pro, Dan?
Yeah, of all the episodes so far, this is the least not good one, Dana. How about another pro for you?
The doctor. He had some of the best lines, and if it wasn't for him, this could have been a bad episode. Do you have another pro, Dan?
The end of the episode. Dana, how about some cons for this episode?
Dan, we discussed this briefly, but the battle was silly. There just had to be a better way to do that. You know, it just, it bothered me. Do you have a con, Dan?
Lots and lots of talking, Dana. Pointless talking. How about another con for you?
Dan, the resolution comes really quickly and everything ends on a happy note. And I've got nothing against happiness, you know, and stories ending happy. But no one is dead. Everyone's happy. Everything turns out for the best. You know, the parents are alive. Here's the bow. Ah.
I'm with you, Dana.
Do you have another con, Dan?
Yeah, the story took way, way, way too long to develop. They could have trimmed this way the freak down, Dana. Dana, what about some things that you hope for?
Well, Dan, I got kind of excited when they said they were in space because that's where Star Trek's supposed to take place most of the time. It's something I would like to see more of. And secondly, more streamlined stories with some action fighting bad guys instead of the cadets fighting one another. The cadet story is getting old fast. Okay, do you got something that you want to share with us on what you hope for, Dan?
Yeah, I do, Dana. A quick and painless end. Not to myself or you. I mean, to, like, the series, I think. I want some real action, Dana, and maybe even some deaths. Okay, Dana, hey, what are some things maybe that you're worried about?
We've discussed this, Dan. No one, and I mean no one, is ever going to die. This is a happy-go-lucky concept where we feel good at the end of every episode. Even if it's a two-parter, we're going to end up being happy at the end of the second part, whatever. I just want somebody to die. Also, stay away from the romantic stuff. What about you?
Dana, I worry there's going to be a second season. Hey, Dana, what about just some final thoughts on this episode?
You know, Dan, it was a pretty good episode overall. Had some nice little twists that made you think. The Klingon Jay-Den is good. His voice kind of wears on me a little bit, like Aka's or Aki's wears on you.
Yeah.
I really liked that Caleb wanted to help, but it turned out he was looking at everything wrong. Even though he felt a kinship with Jay-Den, he did not really understand the issue that the Klingon was having. So it's not like Caleb's got all the answers. I really, really liked that the show was more linear, as I discussed, and followed one character for the most part. I thought the resolution was pretty weak. That's all I got, Dan. What about you? What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, Dana, so this week I've seen a lot of comments online about Starfleet Academy, and some of them really, really, really negative. Some people hate it because of its diversity, and these commentators hate the idea of a future that has women or LGBTQ people or people of color. Now, I vehemently disagree with that proposition. Star Trek has always been about diversity, acceptance, understanding, exploration. But that doesn't hide the fact that the writing of the show, the weak premises, the poor character development, the pretty awful stories for the most part so far, make the show for me almost unwatchable. So if a show is bad, we shouldn't be afraid to say so. And you and I have not been afraid to say so when we think something's bad. On the flip side, though, if it's good, even if it doesn't meet someone's predetermined notion of what Star Trek should be, we need to say that as well. But anyway, Dana, it was still fun to talk about this episode with you, and I hope our listeners are enjoying our podcast. You know, could be worse.
And it's always fun to get together with you and talk about Star Trek, both good or bad. So until we meet again, live long and prosper.
Thanks once again for listening to Damn It Jim, the podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Please send us an email at dammitjimpodcast@gmail.com or join the discussion on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. You can also reach us at the Damn It Jim hotline at 509-676-6298. This podcast was produced by Dan Calzaretta and Dana Smith for Ramble Jar Productions. Editing by Dan Calzaretta. If you would like to be a Damn It Jim sponsor, please send us an email at dammitjimpodcast@gmail.com. Have a great rest of your week, and remember to live long and prosper.